This is an activity that I created that can help prepare students in so many ways as they transition from preschool to kindergarten. There are so many pre-writing skills that should be addressed within preschool in order to ease that transition to kindergarten. Skills such as fine motor skills, which include hand strengthening, in-hand manipulation, bimanual skills, and then visual motor skills. Research shows that use of a multisensory experience allows for vast improvements in students' performance revolving around these skills, especially when transitioning to a new school with new fine motor demands. Visual motor plays a big part in handwriting tasks as the visual and motor system work together to piece together how to form letters using various lines and shapes. To improve letter recognition and formation, using strategies such as modeling, tracing, and copying can improve these skills and prepare students for formally forming letters in kindergarten. Additionally, one of the big things that was brought to my attention about the transition from preschool to kindergarten was the lack of motor control and hand strengthening. The amount of pencil paper work increases by 30% as kids transition. This activity will incorporate all kinds of fine motor experiences in which teachers can pick and choose what they want to do. To begin this activity, the teacher or the student can choose a letter of the week to work on. Choosing the letter of the student's first name is best, a quick strategy for teaching them to know their name and write their letters. Begin with the first letter of the student's name, repeat it over and over, then gradually add in the next letter, repeat, and so on. For example, if the student's name starts with the letter M, practice the letter M for several sessions until they start to get it, then move on to the next letters. Now I will go over options for completing this activity once you have picked a letter. Using both hands, roll out the Play-Doh into a long log. Holding the Play-Doh in the opposite hand, use scissors to cut Play-Doh into pieces. Students may also use both hands to rip apart the Play-Doh if use of scissors is too difficult a task for the student. Using both hands, roll each piece of Play-Doh into a small ball. Place each ball into a circle on the sheet and use correct formation of that letter when placing the balls of Play-Doh. Another option includes working on hand strengthening as well as working on a functional grasp using tweezers, tongs, or clothespins to place Play-Doh. Once all the Play-Doh balls have been placed, and to work on strengthening fingers and hands, flatten each piece of Play-Doh with your fingers. Make sure to flatten them using correct formation such as seen in this video when doing the letter A. Other options include flattening the Play-Doh using something with a flat surface, or a Play-Doh container itself can work as well. This helps open up the web space of the hand. Next is a graded up part of the activity that involves in-hand manipulation. The student will take 3 to 4 objects from a bag or a box and keep them in their palm. Once in their palm, the student performs palm to finger translation, placing an object in the Play-Doh one at a time, pushing them into the Play-Doh while keeping other objects within the palm. This is a strengthening and control exercise. Once all of the objects have been placed in the Play-Doh, the student will perform finger to palm translation, picking up 3 to 4 objects at a time and placing them in their palm. Finger to palm translation can also be done when cleaning up the Play-Doh from the paper. To grade down the Play-Doh activity, roll out the Play-Doh into a log. Then trace the letter using correct formation with the Play-Doh. Using any small objects, push it into the Play-Doh as you are tracing the letter you have chosen. Then you can have the student count the beads. A last element that you can add is making a pattern with the small balls, which can help students with learning patterns as well as strengthening their fingers. Take note that this can be done with smaller beads as well as larger beads. Changing the size of the objects to pick up and press in a Play-Doh helps with dexterity and motor control. Another option for tracing the letters is using popsicle sticks on the Play-Doh. Other materials can be used for this as well, such as wiki sticks or pipe cleaners. We can further work on motor control and strengthening using tongs, tweezers, or clothespins to place objects and outline and trace these letters. For example, using a clothespin to pick up and drop cotton balls. Varying the size of the objects is important as well. In this video, we are using small beads to place in each circle. We are then using tweezers to pick up and place beads. Use of the tweezers, clothespin, or tongs simulates a pencil grasp and can work on finger and hand strengthening as well. Next, simply working on coloring and doing pre-writing lines. Using an egg crayon allows for open web space for pencil grasp. Here's an example of working on making crosses and X's, vertical and horizontal lines within the small circles. Another option is coloring in the circles, which helps work on motor control of the hand as well as a visual motor skill. Next is an example of using various materials to outline the letters. For example, using popsicle sticks, wiki sticks, or pipe cleaners are other options to use to outline the letters. To grade up the activity, placing a second piece of paper next to the letter and have the student copy the letter using the chosen materials further helps establish visual motor skills as well as near-point copying skills. Another option is using stickers. This works on motor control and dexterity of the hand by taking the stickers off the sheet and placing them within the circles, still outlining the letters as you go. Lastly, this activity can become more of a sensory experience with the use of paint to outline letters. This is a good visual motor and sensory experience for the students. This can be done using the student's fingers. Or it can be done using a Q-tip, which also simulates pencil grasp. Additional options include a clothespin with a cotton ball on the end and filling in the circles that way as well. Another option is using glue as another sensory experience. Pressing the glue out of the glue bottle works on hand strengthening. Forming the glue into the letter the appropriate way is also important. This can be created into a craft and have the student add beads or popsicle sticks or other craft materials to the letter using the correct formation. Once the glue dries, the student can run their hands over the dried glue, forming the letter in the appropriate way. There are so many options that can be done for this activity. Some things not shown in the video but can be found within many classrooms are the use of pop beads or Legos to also outline letters. There are so many ways to make learning letters and formation of letters fun and engaging. These activities use the visual system and motor system in tandem in order to create connections on how to form certain letters. Along the way, students will work on hand strengthening, motor control, in-hand manipulation as critical and crucial skills to supporting handwriting and cutting tasks within the kindergarten curriculum.